Hello all loonies and normals, my name is Joe Silver and welcome to my channel. This week we're going to be talking about, what we're going to talk about this week is the hours that we put into video games. And more specifically, the memories of the games that I've played in the past, and and some of the hours that we've put into games. And I'm just really, what I'm doing is, it's just that this is something that came up when I was watching a stream. We were talking about the hours that we put into video games and some of the first video games we were playing. And I don't remember the very first video game I ever played, but I do remember that I had a Mega Drive when I was little. I do remember that, because I remember when my house got flooded, I was there as a child begging my mum and dad to bring the Mega Drive upstairs so it didn't get damaged by the floodwaters. But, and for those of you who are American and watching this, a Mega Drive is a Genesis. Basically, it's a different name in different places. So I definitely remember I played Sonic games, and I remember that. But but we got talking really about the hours that we have spent doing this, about the many thousands and thousands of hours that people have spent playing video games. And it just made me wonder, not if it's wrong to spend that long playing video games, because I have no doubt in my mind at all that it isn't. It's entertainment, it's helping us to pass the time when we're bored. But it made me wonder, could you be considered an expert at gaming because you spent so many hours gaming? Let me explain. There is an expression, or so I believe, that says to be considered an expert at something you have to spend 10,000 hours at that thing. Now, I've played a lot of time on my video games, but the most I've ever spent on a single game is 1,300 hours, and that was on Star Trek Online. So I've never spent 10,000 hours on a single game. But given the amount of years I've been playing video games, and given the fact that I've played across multiple platforms, Mega Drive, Xbox, original Xbox by the way, I'm not sure about PS2, but definitely PS3, PC, Wii. Yeah, I've been across multiple platforms of video games, playing lots and lots and lots of video games across multiple platforms and multiple consoles. So I think it's safe to say that I've spent more than 10,000 hours gaming. So the question is then, does that make me an expert at gaming? Well, yes and no, because it doesn't mean I can pick up a brand new game and be brilliant at it, even though I've never played it before, because that's not how it works. Because, for example, on my streams of late, I've been trying to play Stardew Valley. I haven't got a foggiest what I'm doing with that game. I really haven't, and the game isn't much help. It doesn't turn around and say, right, we want you to do this, we want you to do that. Yes, the journal has little quests, but I mean, in that sense, but it still very much feels like they're not really giving you a direction. It's a case of, here's a farm, get on with it. So no, I can't pick up a new game and immediately be an expert at it. I need to play the game for a while. I need to get into the game. I need to understand the game, and then I can become good at it. But would it still be safe to say that I'm an expert at gaming because I've spent more than 10,000 hours at gaming? Well, according to that expression, yes. But here's my question, right? And I'm sure you'll be happy to share in the comments how many hours you spent gaming in your life, or at least some of the games that you spent quite a long time on. But here's my question. What do we gain from all those hours gaming? Because some people could look and say, well, what a waste of a life. What have you got from it? And so that's my question really. Not that gaming is a waste of life, because I don't agree with that statement. But what do we gain from that? You see, because we spend all these hours playing video games of our choice. But then what do we gain from it? Do we gain hand-eye coordination? Some people say so. Some people say that video gaming is good for hand-eye coordination. Do we gain a sense of victory when we finish a game? Well, I've had that. I've definitely had that. My favourite game of all time, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. Whenever I finish that game, I look and my hands are going like that. Then my hands are absolutely shaking because just from excitement, because I've done it again. I've finished it again. And it's silly because I've beaten it so many times, I know I can do it. It's not like, oh, I wasn't sure I was going to do it. It's like, I don't know. It just gets me, and it gets me excited, and I think, yay, gotcha. And it's silly really, but it's such a brilliant game that I really love it. So sometimes when I finish it, my hands are shaking, it's like, yes. Mind you, given how hard the ending is, I'm not surprised, but it's fun. It is a fun game. And I could talk about that all day, but I won't. But so maybe that's what we get from our games. I mean, the thing is, we don't get anything tangible in the sense of we don't get a little cup to sit on the side of our computer desk, or a little trophy of some kind, an IRL trophy. That we never get that because how could you? Who's going to award it? You know what I mean? Your parents certainly wouldn't. You know what I mean? You don't get anything physical from it. But at the same time, we spend all this time, and this really is the point of the vlog, we spend all this time playing video games. All these hours. I must have spent closer to hundreds of thousands of hours, never mind 10,000 hours, playing video games across the years. Because it's something I do a lot, and it's something I can be quite passionate about. And it's why I enjoy streaming, because I share my passions with people who come in, people who watch me. They can see how passionate I get about these games, because they can see the delight on my face. They can see the pain when I do something wrong. That, oh God, done it wrong again. And they can see the joy and all the emotions on my face as I struggle with the game and get annoyed a little bit or frustrated a bit because it didn't go quite how I wanted it. And you can see all that in my face, and then so it's pure enjoyment and it's a passion. But what do we get from all these hours? And I honestly don't know the answer. I really don't. In my opinion, we just get the enjoyment of playing them. We get the sense of achievement when we beat something really difficult. But is that all we get? I know for a fact that some people would say, some people who don't like gamers and don't like video games would say they're a waste of money and that you're throwing your money away. Because think of how much money you spend buying these games. But again, I don't agree with that statement, because to me it's not a waste of money. It's me using my money. I mean, I wouldn't use it for anything else anyway. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter to me. I go and buy a £20 Steam card. I don't bemoan the fact that I've spent 20 quid on a Steam card. I use the money on my Steam. Don't bother me. But at the end of the day, I suppose it depends what kind of game. There are certain games that even I would say are a waste of time and that I wouldn't touch with a barge pole. And yet there are other people who would disagree with me because they like those games. So, it's all perspective and all opinion, and that's true. But honestly, a lot of games, at least most of the games I play, and certainly the games I like, I have to say quite frankly and quite honestly, they're not a waste of time. They're a way to kill time, if you will. They're a way to keep going and to use time in a way to, because at the end of the day, I mean, if you're like me, if you didn't play video games, you'd be sitting around the house bored, not sure what to do with your time. So you do that instead. You use the time that way. So I mean, even so, it's. But again, it all comes back to time, doesn't it? It all comes back to what I was saying about the hours and hours that we've spent doing this. And I'm now 34, and I've been gaming, I would say, for maybe over 20 to 30 years. Well, I don't know about 30 years because I'm not sure I was gaming at 4. I don't know. But it's got to be somewhere close to that. Now that in itself is a lot of years and a lot of games. Strangely enough. But maybe some of you remember experiences like that. I don't know. Like I said, feel free to fill me in the comments down below because I'm more than happy to listen. But I think what I'll do is I'll round it up here anyway because I think I've been yabbering on enough. But the point is we spend a lot of hours doing it. And the question will never really go truly resolved. We'll never get truly resolved as to what we get from it because I think what we get from it depends on the person. Each person gets something different from it, from their experience. You know, some get education because those games teach them things. Some get a sense of achievement. Some just get a way to pass the time. Who knows? Personally, I just love to play games. I just really enjoy them. They keep me occupied and they can be a good way to clear my head sometimes. When you feel like you need it to be cleared and you need to de-stress. Sometimes when they get frustrating they could be a way to give you stress and you have to go clear your head because of them. But that happens. But no, I mean, joking aside, it's just really fun. Anyway, as I said, I've been rambling on long enough. So I'll tell you what, I'll round up here. Thank you so much for watching anyway, and if you like what you see here, please leave me a like down below, leave me a sub if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below as well telling me what you think of the content here, what you think of the subject that we talked about today, your opinions, maybe some of the experiences you've had. If you have an idea for something you'd like me to talk about next week, leave it in the comment down below because I am always looking for subjects to talk about, always. I struggle sometimes to find a subject and then just pick something random and just hope that I can talk about it. So if you've got something, please let me know. I'd be more than happy for you to suggest something. Either way, thank you so much again for watching, and thank you for all the support that you've given me so far, to those of you who have. And I've been Joe Silver. This has been a vlog.